So check this out. I'm mastering a song, and let's say I want to aim for a loudness level of minus 14 LUFS, recommended by most streaming services. So while mastering the song, I look at the integrated LUFS meter, and I aim for minus 14 LUFS. So I guess I'm good to go now. Not so fast. Check this out. After I bounce the master, look at the statistics of that master. When I look at the integrated loudness level, it's now down to minus 16.8 LUFS. So that means that if you master your music at minus 14 LUFS, chances are that your master is gonna sound quieter. So why is that? Let's find out. Before we jump in, just a quick announcement to let you know that I'm actually working on something new in relation to mastering that will be launched very soon. If you don't want to miss this, make sure you jump on the waiting list by clicking the link below, and at the same time, you'll have access to my free ultimate mixing guides. Let's jump in Cubase. I'm going to use Supervision as my metering system, and that is a stock plugin out of Cubase. But if you don't have access to Supervision, you can go and download the free U-Lean loudness meter. Okay, this one is entirely free. I'm going to leave the link down below. So now the first thing to understand here is that we have 3 different levels of LUFS. We have the momentary max LUFS, which will give you the average perceived loudness level within a period of time of, I think it's 400 milliseconds or so. Very close to RMS, however, it doesn't measure the average level quite the same way as RMS. I'm not going to jump into the differences in this video. But what you need to understand, it does give you an average perceived loudness level within a very short period of time of approximately 400 milliseconds. Now, the short-term LUFS will go a step further. It's going to give you the average loudness level within a period of 3 seconds. And the integrated LUFS level is the average loudness level within a period of time of an actual piece of audio. So that could be the length of a full audio out of a movie or just a piece of music. So the average loudness level of a master will be the integrated LUFS, and that is the metering used by most streaming services. Some, like Spotify, will set that up to minus 14 LUFS, and the reason streaming services do so is to give the listener a better experience while listening to music on their platform. So this way you don't have like a super loud master and the next song that follows is very quiet. So you're not going to go back and forth with different loudness while listening to music, which is quite annoying, to be honest, you know? So by normalizing everything down to minus 14 LUFS, all songs will approximately be played at the same loudness level, which is way better for the listener. Now, you can, of course, deactivate that option and listen to the songs at their original loudness level. But honestly, that is quite annoying. If you have a master that goes above minus 14 LUFS, Spotify and other services will bring it down and normalize it to minus 14. And same thing will happen if your master is too quiet and is below minus 14 LUFS. Some services will normalize the audio to peak level to bring the audio louder. However, it's not all services that will do so, and we'll look at that later. But for now, this is what happens. When I focus on an integrated LUFS value of minus 14, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot because, like I said, the integrated loudness measurement will measure loudness from the minute you click on start, if you're working within your DAW, to the time you click on stop. The loudness level during that time will be the integrated LUFS in this case. So what I do in mastering, I pick the loudest part of the song, and this is where I'm going to base myself on to look at my loudness levels, okay? So in this case, if I look at the integrated LUFS, I'm at minus 14.3. But like we saw earlier, my final master is going to be even quieter. And the reason is simple. It's because, like I said, the integrated LUFS value is going to be the perceived loudness on the full piece of audio that I'm going to bounce after I'm done mastering, which is the full song in this case. Okay? And that will put into account all the different sections of the song, not only the loudest part of the song. And since I have like quieter parts that are significantly quieter than the choruses, it's automatically by nature gonna bring the loudness level lower. So using integrated LUFS while I'm mastering is not going to work unless I listen to the song from the beginning to the end and I look at my LUFS integrated meter. Now in that case, it will give me the correct loudness level of that song. So now to show you in practice how that looks like, I'm going to use the Loudness Penalty Studio by Meter Plugs, which is an amazing tool if you want to know what streaming services are going to do with your masters once you upload them, okay, on their service. So I have a list of a bunch of different streaming services like Amazon Music, Apple, Deezer, Spotify, Tidal, and YouTube Music. And I imported 3 different versions of the same master at 3 different loudness levels. The loud one at minus 9.4 LUFS, the other one a bit quieter at minus 12.5 LUFS, and the quieter one, which was the one I was aiming to master at minus 14, but that came out at minus 16.9 LUFS, okay? So the pink line on each song is going to give me the LUFS level. If I click on Loudness Match, this is going to apply exactly what streaming services are going to do by default on their platform. They're going to loudness match all songs at the same level, which is minus 14 LUFS for Spotify. You know, that can vary from one platform to another. But in the case of Spotify, minus 14 LUFS is the level they're going to bring everything down to or everything up to if your master was quieter, like it was in the case of my minus 14 master version that I bounced earlier. So the quieter master has been bumped up by 2.9 dBs, and the 2 other versions were brought down by a bit. You know, the louder one by 4.6 dBs and the one in between by 1.5 dBs. Okay, so now they're supposed to sound all the same as far as the loudness goes. So let's have a listen. As far as the loudness level goes, they do sound pretty much the same. Now, the differences we hear are mainly due to the amount of processing made in the mastering stage to make one master louder than the other, okay? But this is going to be a topic for another video. But now you're saying, fine, okay, so no big deal if I master at minus 14 LUFS. You know, Spotify will bring that up. However, Spotify will bring it up, and that process of bringing the music louder is called the positive gain. And when they bring your song louder, they do normalize to true peak level. In my case, it was able to bring it up to minus 14 LUFS, which is fine, but that might not be the case for all masters that are mastered at a minus 14 LUFS level. And that will depend on the way the song was mastered, which will influence the amount of true peak level when bouncing your master. And I actually did the experiment using the same song where I have a different true peak level and even a quieter LUFS level. And I actually mastered this one aiming at minus 13 LUFS. And it came out quieter. And Spotify weren't able to increase the level of that quieter version more than 0.8 dB. And on top of that, even if the master was done in a way that Spotify is able to increase the volume to minus 14 LUFS, that is not the case for all streaming services. So if we look at Amazon Music, for example, they are not going to increase the level of any productions. If your master goes in at a lower level than minus 14 LUFS, it's going to play at that level, and that's it, okay? Everything louder will be brought down, but quieter masters will stay quiet. And same for YouTube. YouTube Music will not apply positive gain on a quiet master, okay? So that's why I'm saying it's important as far as I'm concerned, not to aim minus 14 LUFS when mastering music. What I do on my side, I always focus on the loudest part of the song and I look at my short-term LUFS value. And now there's not a specific number to reach for, and that's the beauty of it. It's all about personal choice and what is good for the production you're mastering. Note that the louder you go, you will get less dynamic range, and at some point that can affect the audio quality of your master. Because of the lack of dynamic range, it can introduce some side effects like lack of punch, some distortion, and so on. As a starting point, I'm gonna go at around minus 10 to minus 9 LUFS short term. That will give me a better LUFS integrated level when bouncing the full master. It's going to be louder than minus 14 LUFS, and that's okay. You know, the master will be brought down by a few dBs, but I'm fine with that. Because for me, it's way better to have a master that goes above minus 14 LUFS, even if they bring it down by a few dBs, than have a master that is too quiet and that is under minus 14 LUFS. On my side, I kind of like to have a good balance between a dynamic master and a loud master, and I go with what sounds best, and that's it. I don't overthink it. If you want to watch more mastering related videos, click on this playlist. Until next time, take care and see you.